was totally wrong,
yes,
which you've highlighted. So
yes.
here you are faced with two issues that came out from the same transaction, fraudulent issues from the same individual, same parties, KMC, the council there, and the staffs involved, and the allegations of fraud, the same parties as well, KMC, council, and the staff involved.
Yeah, because we also received a letter from the KMC Establishment Committee. You see, that was dated on the 12th December, if I can recall, exactly 12th December, about the interdiction.
Yes, my point.
Yes.
I agree with you. I agree. We are not discussing that. My point is, you said that you were informed of the setting up of a local government a commission of inquiry.
Yes.
And therefore, you couldn't further look into the issue of the fraud as planned.
Yes.
Right? But you went ahead to still take steps in addressing the issues of the inappropriate decisions being taken by KMC, the irregularities, and so on and so forth. You didn't stop on those ones.
No, we didn't stop on that one because KMC even wrote to that effect.
You didn't stop on those ones, even though you had knowledge that there would be a commission of inquiry. You didn't stop.
Yeah, that's why we were asked that we can look at the interdiction, but for the issue of the fraud, the commission will look at that, which is more detailed.
No, see, the reason why you did not look at the issue of the fraud is because there was no interest of that sort. That is a hard fact, because even as this commission was set up, you still take steps to redeploy, to demote, and to transfer the very parties that are involved. So you were not relenting on your decisions. You still further took steps, even when the first commission was no more, and this commission was up and running, which you are aware of. You were still taking steps in relation to the interdiction, and this commission was looking into the interdiction and related matters.
No, I'm not getting you clearly.
My point is, you were acting on instructions, as you've said,
yes,
to look into the matter of the interdiction. That is why you look into those matters.
Yeah, there were two issues.
Yes.
One, we were instructed to look at the interdiction, and at the same time, we received that letter from KMC was also forwarded to us, to the commission, to look into the issue of the interdiction. These are the two reasons.
Were you aware that the first commission that was to be set up did not materialize?
Yes, I think that's why we stated that we need to. We stated something about that. We need something.
By the time you stated that in this letter, this was what date is that in the meeting?
This was 28 December.
28 December 2022.
Yeah, that is page 2.
And you were saying that is why you stated that in the letter that you need to look into it. Is that correct?
The issues surrounding
the fraud, the fraud allegations. That
commission of the formation of that commission of inquiry.
Yes.
We wanted to see the documents.
Yes.
And their terms of reference, things like that. We wanted to know something about that.
2022 December. Since 2022, you never, or have you ever looked into the issues of the fraud allegations?
No.
Good.
And I said that it's because of the setting up of this commission.
Yes.
That was to be tasked to look at the issue.
Which of the commissions? This one?
This one, yes.
See,
maybe you are not getting me clearly.
I am getting you clearly.
No.
You are saying because of this commission, that's why you didn't look into it.
Yes.
But the setting up of this commission didn't stop you from transferring Senator Martin Sonko or transferring and demoting Kajali Jammeh?
Yeah, because that was sent to us to look at.
By
both KMC and the ministry.
When?
In December.
In December?
Yes.
In December, the same December 2022?
Yes.
Exactly. Now, you are saying you failed to take further actions on the further allegations because this commission of inquiry was set up.
Was to be set up.
Yes.
Yes.
So you could have just not also taken any further steps in relation to the other matters, in relation to the interdiction, because this commission is being set up.
No, that was not the decision of the commission at that.
Exactly, because the decision of the commission was biased. That's the hard fact. You were only acting. I am telling you, yes. That's my opinion. You can disagree with that. Yes. My point is, your argument is what I am not agreeing with. I may be wrong. Your argument that because of this commission, that is why you are not looking into the foreign allegations, is not correct. So you may have any other reason, but don't use this commission setting up for not doing your job, because the same commission was being set up to look into all these issues, but you still chose to interdict. You still chose to demote and transfer the parties that are involved. You didn't wait.
But I told you the issue at hand was the interdiction.
That's my point.
So that's what was forwarded to us to look at.
Yes.
And we are looking at that.
I think we have belabored that issue too much. So we can proceed. But before we proceed, let me ask Mr. Jallo.
Yes.
Mr. Jallo, the report on the inspection exercise and fraud allegation at the KMC, I am being informed by lead counsel that it has been admitted in evidence.
Yes.
And it is marked LGC/MJ/002. Did the commission have at any point in time the opportunity to look at this report? Because this is dated October 2021, and the minutes of the meeting dated Tuesday 28 December 2022, which means the inspection report on the fraud allegation preceded the Service Commission meeting of Tuesday 28 December 2022.
Yes.
So did you at any point table this report with a view to looking at the issues that were raised in this report?
Yes.
And okay. And
yes,
then
because when we were look at the table, the report, we were reviewing the report.
Yes.
Whilst we were reviewing the report, that's where we have all these informations. You see, all these relevant information that we need to thoroughly investigate. It was as a review of the report. That's why we came up with some of these.
Mr. Jallo, I believe that what Council is trying to put across is the fact that for the minutes of the meeting of the Local Government Service Commission, which was held on the 28th of December 2022, it failed to capture the issue of the fraud allegation at the KMC as a matter to be discussed in your agenda. And selectively, you just discuss the interdiction of Senabu Martin. So I believe what the Council is trying to put across to you is that it's either there was an omission or an error for you not to have table, because you already had a document very explicit, very direct, very clear on what has transpired. And we are amazed by the fact that this matter came up well before October, and this report was provided in October 2021, and you only had a meeting in December 2022 to deal with these issues as a commission. What can you tell us about that?
This report was presented to the ministry almost after 1 year we were appointed in office. I don't know what transpired between the previous commission. There was a commission in 2021.
Wait a minute. You said this report.
Yes.
After the completion of the work of the people that were assigned to do this report.
Yes.
It was presented 1 year after. Is that what you are telling the commission?
No, to us.
To you?
Yes. Then we were not in office. There was another commission that was there. What I mean is, when the report was done, it was after 1 year then we were appointed into office.
Yes, but on in December 2020, in 2002, you were already in office, right?
Yes.
And you had the opportunity of reading this report.
Yes.
Before you sat for this meeting, right?
No, it was during the meeting.
So you never had a copy of this report?
No. It was during that meeting, then the documents were photocopied from the file, and then this report was also in that document.
But you told us that you made mention of some issues as a result of what you found in this report. So it was on the day of the meeting that you were availed this report?
And we were reviewing it on that day, page by page.
Thank you. Council, can you proceed?
Yes. So you said that the reason why you proceeded with the interdiction is because KMC wrote to you regarding the interdiction. Is that correct?
Yes, they also wrote.
Yes. Do you have the letter with you?
I don't have it with me here.
So did they write to you on or about the month of December 2022?
12 December, I think.
Let me show you a letter.
Yes.
Have a look at this letter. I think it's already been exhibited. And tell us whether this is the letter that you have received from them. You can see the heading?
Yes, it's this
That
one.
is the one?
Yes.
Good. What is the heading of the letter?
Recommendation for an interdiction of Senabu Martin Sonko and for her to proceed on administrative leave.
And to whom was it addressed to?
It was addressed to the chairman, Local Government Service Commission.
Yes, let me have that letter. So, so it is your evidence that, as far as you're concerned, you were asked to look into the interdiction by KMC.
By KMC and the ministry.
Yes, but you were not asked to look into the fraud allegations by KMC.
No. But when we started the issue.
Let's just take it one at a time.
Okay, correct.
Good. Now, Madam Chair, this letter, I believe, is already in evidence. We were trying to look for the number, but apparently we will avail the commission with the relevant citation.
Can you please refrain from dealing with the document that we are not sure whether it is admitted, so that we could not deal with evidence that is not before the commission?
So, Madam Chair, the letter now is a photocopy that we have. We will ask, if the chairperson permits, we will ask the witness to bring an original of this letter. But if you permit as well, we may as well tender the photocopy pending the witness bringing the original of the letter.
Yes, if the witness undertakes to bring the original, if it is available,
yes,
and he can have access to it, then we can admit the document.
Can you produce this original letter?
Yeah, I will liaise with the secretary and the PS to get the original.
So you can produce it by tomorrow?
I will endeavor to do that.
Very well. I apply to tender the letter dated the 12th day of December 2022 into evidence as an exhibit. The heading is recommendation for an interdiction of Senabu Martin Sonko and for her to proceed on administrative leave. It has been identified by the witness as being the one that they received from KMC. So we will ask that you bring the original by tomorrow.
The letter written by Yahya Jammeh, Deputy Chief Executive Officer of KMC, and copied to the Lord Mayor and to the Honorable Minister, Local Government, Lands and Religious Affairs, dated the 12th of December 2022, with reference number BZ28/119/01 and caption, recommendation for an interdiction of Senabu Martin Sonko and for her to proceed on administrative leave, is hereby admitted in evidence and marked as LGC/A/1 MJ/KMC/012.
As the commission places, may I apply to have the letter be shown to the witness? So, in this letter that you have identified as being the one that you have received from KMC, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us, can you refer us to the relevant paragraph wherein you are instructed to look into the issues of the interdiction?
Maybe this one I can read the letter. It's a short one.
What?
I said it's a short one. I can go through it.
Please.
Yes. The heading is Recommendation for an Interdiction of Seinabu Martin Sonko and for her to proceed on administrative leave. I write to convey the decision of the Establishment and Appointment Committee, which has resolved for the interdiction of the CEO Seinabu Martin Sonko to proceed on an administrative leave with immediate effect, and for her to be paid a monthly salary until a decision is made on her case by the Commission. The decision was reached during an emergency meeting convened today, Monday, 12 December 2022, at the Conference Room 1. The Ministry has earlier on conducted an investigation on the allegations against her, and the matter was concluded with a report submitted at the Ministry of Local Government and Lands and Regional Affairs. The Council will appreciate for you to look into those reports. In fact, the Council would like to share the view that since the allegations leveled against Mrs. Seinabu Martin Sonko has to do with the entire Staff Welfare Association of the Council, the good working relationship and trust has seriously changed. This, we think, will be quite impossible to cement the already broken relationship. We thank you and look forward to your timely intervention on this matter.
So going,
Deputy CEO.
So going by that letter,
yes.
Were you asked to look into the interdiction alone, or were you asked to look into the interdiction and the alleged fraudulent allegation?
But by this letter, we were asked to look into the interdiction.
Were you?
And in the process,
yes.
In the process, they informed us that there is a report that was produced after an inspection, so that we make sure that we have that report.
So the letter asks you to look into two things: the issue of the interdiction and the fraudulent allegation.
And the report, yes.
So it was not just the issue of the interdiction, as you highlighted.
The issue was to look at the interdiction. That's the main.
I'm not asking what is the main issue and what is the sub-issue.
Yes.
Were you asked to look into the issue of the fraudulent allegation and the issue of the interdiction?
The interdiction.
You were not asked to look into the issue of the fraudulent allegation.
No, we were asked to
you have just read
yes.
the letter.
Yes.
Maybe you have forgotten in the beginning, but now you have seen the letter, and it has probably will help you to recall the contents of the letter. It will be very unfair for you to just read the wording of the letter clearly, know what it says, and want to depart from it. It doesn't help anyone. Did they mention the issue of the fraudulent allegations in that letter?
Yes, they said we should look at the report.
Did they mention the issue of the fraudulent allegation and
yes.
the report thereto in the letter?
Yes.
And the letter was addressed to your office?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Can you return that exhibit? Madam Chair, I have no further question for this witness. Probably my lead will have questions, or the commissioners.
I think there is an additional document.
Oh yes, the budget, recurrent budget detail.
Yes.
Yes. Can you bring us a certified copy of this recurrent budget estimate?
Sorry, what do you mean by certified?
Because the one you gave us is an extract, you said.
Yes, it's a booklet.
Yes.
Budget is the national budget. Yeah. She is in a booklet form.
Yeah, so we need a certified copy. So probably the clerk will explain to you after the sitting as to how you can get it certified.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Do we need to, because since he's bringing some documents tomorrow, we can admit them once and for all, rather than admitting this one.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
The commissioners, if there are any questions. I have one or two questions for Mr. Jallow. You referred to a letter that was written on the 14th of April 2023. Can you avail us that letter?
Regarding what? Where was that mentioned?
Where
was that mentioned?
During the course of your evidence and during the council putting questions to you, you referred to when you were discussing the issue of the letter that you were in receipt of, indicating that the KMC would not comply with the instructions you have given. Was there any letter that was written on the 14th of April 2023 which you are in receipt of?
Written from KMC or from this commission?
It can be from the KMC or the ministry, whichever it is.
Well, I can't recall that. I cannot recall that.
Okay, can you please check whether there is any letter that is written on the 14th of April 2023? And please make it available if you...
14th April?
Yes. 14th of April 2023. Now, Mr. Jallow, the letter you received from the council to KMC did make reference, that is exhibit LGC/MG/YS/009.
Yes.
In paragraph 3 of the said letter, it referred the commission to section 119 of the Local Government Act. Having been referred to this provision, what step did you take as a commission to indicate to the ministry what your role and responsibilities were? Did you take any step to address what was referred to in this letter?
That was the demotion, or?
No. Yes, the demotion and redeployment. I said in that letter, which has been admitted in evidence, which is an exhibit now,
yes,
it referred you to the provisions of the Local Government Act, particularly section 119, which refers to the independence of the local service of the Service Commission.
Yes.
What steps did you take to deal with that issue with the ministry?
Yeah, for us, we are independent in our decisions. The minister, we are very independent in our decisions. We are not dictated or directed by anybody when we take our decisions.
So now, did you reply to this letter from your office?
No, not yet. The letter was addressed to the permanent secretary.
So that is why I asked the question, Mr. Jammeh.
And then the permanent secretary...
No, just listen, please. I asked the question because of the fact that the legislation is very clear. And the letter is saying you are an independent body, you are supposed to take responsibility and charge of the responsibility accorded to you by the legislation. And now I am telling you, did you reply to this letter?
Not yet.
Why?
Because the letter was even received by our secretary on the 20th of June, almost close to 1 month after it was sent to the permanent secretary.
So is it correct that the letters should be addressed to the permanent secretary and not to the ministry?
Yeah, it's addressed to the ministry. That's
to the commission.
To the commission. Yeah, I think
Is it correct that it should be addressed to the ministry and not to the commission direct?
Well, I cannot say whether it's correct,
conflict.
whether it's correct or not, but that is the norm. You see, and in my appointment letter, that was what was stated, that the correspondence should go through the office of the permanent secretary to the commission, and from the commission to the permanent secretary, and they were quoting the PSC, PMO, you see, arrangement.
So now, but if that is the norm,
but it's slow. It's very slow.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Now, my further question is, if that was the norm, it has now been put to you that the law is saying something different. So what is your position?
Well, if the law says something different, we should go by the law.
So now, having read the law and having received this letter, what is supposed to be your position?
Yeah, maybe it is, I don't know, subject to interpretation, because for us, we are with the belief that we are independent. The decisions we take are independent, but they are administrative procedures. And the ministry, being the supervisor and the coordinator of councils, have that administrative role. The commission doesn't have administrative responsibility. So maybe that is why the ministry is taking that role, because they are the supervisors, and to ensure that there is implementation. Because for the commission, we don't have we implement responsibility. Maybe that is why the ministry, it will cut the bureaucracy. It will be more efficient. Yes.
Section 119 of the Local Government Act, which says subject to the provisions of the person or authority.
Yes.
What is your understanding of what the provision is saying?
That in our decision making, nobody should influence whatever decision we are to take.
So does it include you dealing with the issues directly?
Well, for my understanding, I'm not sure whether the administrative part is captured on that, because
I just read
because they quote the PSC, and in the PSC is a similar arrangement. The PSC don't implement; they take decisions and pass them to PMO, and PMO implements the decisions of the commission. So it was the same thing that the ministry was copying. Maybe in my appointment letter, that is why they even stated that. The commission, the other act, in the act also said that we have to conform to the standards, you see, of the Public Service Commission. So that's the relevant section. That's the section that the ministry quoted before they bring in the issue of the communication going through the ministry.
Yes. If the in this circumstance, the law is saying that your institution should not be controlled, should not be subject to direction and control of any person or authority. And would I be correct to say that the appointment letter that is given to you does not supersede, does not in any way supersede what is contained in the legislation?
Yes, it doesn't.
Thank you. And Mr. Jallo, why does it take so long for letters, for you to receive letters that you are supposed to act upon? You have explained in detail that in your appointment letter it is stated that everything should pass through the ministry. But given the situation as it is, why does it have to take so long to get the letters to your office for you to take responsibility in some of the things that you are supposed to do? What do you think informed that?
Because of the bureaucracy at the ministry. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Honorable Joyner has a question.
Hello. Thank you very much, Chairperson. I just wanted to establish the timeline and the location of these offices. Where is the PS's office located at?
At the ministry.
Who is your secretary?
The Director of Governance.
And where is his office located?
At the ministry.
How many doors are between the PS's office and the secretary's office?
I can't remember how many doors, but I know it's.
But they are on the same floor.
The same floor.
Now, why does it have to take from the 6th to the 28th to have a document move from one office to another office? 14 days, and you are on the same floor.
Yeah, because maybe it goes through the records system. Because they're using the ministry's system. When the PS minute, it goes to the secretary to records office, and records will renter, push it to the secretary. But I don't. It's because of democracy. But that should not happen.
So you are telling me that it is normal for
it's not efficient
to receive something in day one and have it processed to go to another office 14 days?
No, that's inefficiency.
Okay,
of the system.
Okay.
May I just ask this further question? How many meetings have you held since you assumed office?
No, I can't remember.
Do you have the minutes of all those meetings? Because you just submitted to us two minutes of your meeting.
Yes, these were the one requested.
Yes, but how many meetings have you held over the period?
I can't remember.
Can you avail us all the minutes that you have had from the time you took over office?
Okay, we'll do that.
To date, except for these two that have been admitted in evidence.
Okay.
Please do so and make sure you bring them tomorrow. Thank you.
Anyway, I will try.
Any further questions from the commissioners? Counsel?
I have no questions for the witness at this time. I will probably have some when all the documents are before the commission tomorrow. I'm grateful.
I think it's a convenient point to break for lunch, and we will be back after 1 hour. Thank you. We may rise.